Coming up, we now know the names of the men who were trapped in a Martin County building collapse.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. The search and rescue operation at the old Pontique prep plant in Martin County continues more than 48 hours after a catastrophic collapse. 2 men are trapped, at least one is dead, but even his body has not yet been recovered. As WYMT's Madison Carmouche reports, we now know who they are.
The rescue and recovery effort continues for the 2 men working inside the old prep plant.
As I understand, both names have been released. The fellow that we know that is deceased is named Billy Ray Daniels, better known as Bo Daniels. The gentleman that is still there that we're still searching for, his name is Alvin Neese.
Kentucky Emergency Management Director Jeremy Slinker says that this is a statewide effort as they sift through the debris.
Our Energy Environment Cabinet Secretary reached out to me today, and Deputy Secretary, and said, would these photos that we have on file help? And and they had a lot of inside photos. So for us, then it gives you a better look for those that hadn't been, what was the inside made of. So
Slinker says it is now a slow process of removing layers of rubble.
all other measures had been exhausted. Dogs, cameras, listening devices, and people. All that had been exhausted. And now we're just there's no way to see in those voids that are blocked off right now or barricaded without machinery to take it apart.
Martin County Judge Executive Lon Lafferty says the search efforts will continue around the clock as the family of Alvin Neese continues to hope for a miracle. Unfortunately,
we all hoped that we would give you some information that we had located the missing person, and we're not there yet. As the judge mentioned, met with the family a lot today.
Officials say the family of Daniels was able to come to the scene and begin their grieving process. In Martin County, Madison Carmouche, WYMT Mountain News.
There will be another news conference tomorrow morning at 11, and reporters are expected to be taken to the site of the collapse for the first time. One church has become a central hub for first responders and others to get food and support. A deacon at Buck Branch United Baptist Church says the community has come together to help those looking for answers.
We're really blessed to be in the community that we're in that shows love. We come together because we're Christians and to lift the name of the Lord up, not the name of the church. Anyone that can pray, will pray, needs to pray for the family and for the people up there that's trying to recover the 2 guys.
Local officials met privately with family members at the church this afternoon before taking them to the scene. The number of coal mines in eastern Kentucky is on the decline. So what happens when they are abandoned, like the one in Martin County? Steve Gardner has worked around the mining and engineering industry since 1975. Whether it be for new housing, recreation, or industrial development, these old mine sites can be reclaimed and become beneficial to the region.
If you look at the recent Kentucky initiatives, which I think they're calling higher ground, the housing developments that have been announced in recent months, they're all on reclaimed mine site.
Gardner says he once wrote, "A mine is a terrible thing to waste."
We are tracking some cold weather across the mountains once again as we go into tonight, but some improvements on the way as early as tomorrow. This evening, though, those temperatures are chilly in the middle to upper 30s and lower 40s as well, up to 44 in Pikeville, down to 36 in London, also 36 in Somerset, and down to 32 already for Manchester, also Middlesboro at this hour. Up on the radar, a clean sweep continues, and again, that's also going to stick around, all thanks to an area of high pressure, so that will stay part parked over the mountains through tonight, also on Friday and into this weekend. Some more dry weather is on the way as we close out the work week. We stay dry, also clear overnight, and those lows close to freezing as you wake up on Friday, back in the middle to lower 30s. So be sure to pack the jacket on your Friday morning commute, but some better weather is on the way. We stay dry under some sunshine, also warmer on Friday. Temperatures back close to average in the lower 60s, but possibly some 70s on the way by Monday and Tuesday of next week. Those details coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Cameron, thank you. One flood survivor in Knott County is keeping her faith as she moves into her repaired home. Brenda Sloan's home was damaged in the July 2022 flood. Since then, she's dealt with several issues, from having no back porch to her floor nearly caving in. But the Christian Appalachian Project was able to help, and now she is in her renovated home.
When they tore the carpet up out of this, you won't believe it, but I can show you, they brought me a necklace that was in that carpet, and it had the word faith.
Sloan says it's been hard dealing with everything with her house on top of getting into a bad car crash back in April. However, she is thrilled to be back in her repaired home. The University of Kentucky has issued a crime bulletin tonight for a sexual assault. The school says it reportedly happened today in the victim's dorm room in an on-campus residence hall. They say the victim and suspect are both UK students, and the suspect is known to the victim. UK police are now investigating. They say anyone who's been a victim of sexual assault or any other crime should come forward. Governor Andy Beshear cast his vote this morning in Frankfort. Later, he joined other elected officials in Lexington, getting the word out about early voting. Governor Beshear says these early voting days are a great opportunity for Kentuckians.
Today's message from everyone up here is a nonpartisan encouragement for every single person out there, regardless of who you're going to vote for. Get out and vote early.
Early voting was expanded in the state back in 2021 with the bipartisan House Bill 574. And Attorney General and Republican nominee for governor Daniel Cameron was campaigning in western Kentucky today. This is video of him earlier in the week in Hazard. Cameron says he will vote on Tuesday, Election Day, and be in Louisville for his election night party. Both candidates' campaign tours will continue into the weekend. Now, just a reminder, in-person, no excuse absentee voting does continue tomorrow across Kentucky. It started today and will continue on Saturday as well. Election Day is Tuesday, November 7th. Polls open on Election Day at 6 a.m. and close at 6 p.m. that evening. A list of polling locations in each county is available at govote.ky.gov. Abortion has been a big issue for years, but now that it's largely outlawed in Kentucky, the political dynamics have changed. We've heard a lot about it in the governor's race. Garrett Weimer breaks down their abortion claims in this Campaign 2023 fact check.
In our issues survey, abortion ended up the 5th highest priority.
Thanks for coming out.
The conversation has certainly shifted.
And we're going to keep working hard. Look,
from the primary campaign.
Only one candidate stopped abortion in Kentucky.
To the general.
I'm speaking out because women and girls need to have options. Daniel Cameron would give us none.
Much of the abortion debate has centered on exceptions to the state's bans. The only current exception in Kentucky law is to protect the life and health of the mother. According to an analysis by the independent nonprofit KFF, of the 22 states that ban or restrict abortion, 8 have exceptions for rape and incest. Kentucky does not.
My opponent has now had 11 different chances to look at a camera and to tell you whether he is personally for exceptions for rape and incest. I'll show you how. I am personally for exceptions for rape and incest. Those individuals deserve options.
Fact check. Cameron's positions on exceptions has appeared to evolve. In September, he first said he would sign a bill with exceptions for rape and incest, the first time he publicly expressed support for that. At the Kentucky debate, when pressed for clarity, he did not say he would push lawmakers to do it.
Now contrast that to Andy Beshear, an extremist whose record in public office is clear. He supports abortion through the 9th month.
Fact check. Bashir says he has always supported, quote, reasonable restrictions on abortion, especially on late-term procedures. As AG, he defended the state's law requiring an ultrasound before an abortion, but refused to defend the state's 20-week abortion ban. As governor, he vetoed a 15-week abortion ban, citing the lack of exceptions for rape and incest.
Cameron even supports allowing the government to investigate our private medical records.
Fact check. Cameron did sign a letter saying officials should be able to have access to patient records for investigations. He and 18 other Republican state attorneys general opposed a proposed HIPAA rule change that would shield the information of patients who travel out of state for reproductive health care. The letter says it would unlawfully interfere with states' authority to enforce their laws and could end up protecting providers who perform illegal abortions. As it is now, abortion providers in Kentucky could face 1 to 5 years in prison. The law does not subject mothers to any penalties. Cameron opposed a bill filed in February that would have charged them with homicide. Last fall, Kentucky voters rejected a proposed constitutional amendment that would have explicitly stated the Commonwealth's Constitution contains no right to an abortion.
Garrett, thank you. That was the final installment in a month-long series of Campaign 2023 fact checks. You can find them all at WYMT.com. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, a surprise plea deal today in a deadly beating case involving police officers.
Plus, we are tracking warmer weather to continue for this weekend. Your forecast on the way after this break.